Today I'm going to talk about a new feature in the AVD management portal called Session Host Update. As the title alludes to, it allows you to update session hosts in a controlled and automated manner. Let's go to the portal and discover this new feature. Once we're in the portal and we create a new host pool, I'll create a pooled host pool and then use the new feature which will create a session host configuration. This feature also requires a few new prerequisites, so I'm going to add those now. The first of these is a role assignment that will allow the AVD service to create and delete session hosts. Now I'm going to add mine at the subscription level, but this can be done at the resource group level as well. Now the role we require is Desktop Virtualization Virtual Machine Contributor. Let's select that and click Next. Now we're going to click the plus select members. This will bring up a new pane which will allow us to type in Azure Virtual Desktop, which will bring up the application. Now if you created this a long time ago, it might say Windows Virtual Desktop. So let's select this and then click on Review and Assign. This has now added the required role assignment. Another requirement is to store key vault secrets so that we can store local credentials and domain credentials if required. In Secrets, click the Generate Import. I'm going to create 4 secrets: a domain admin user, a domain admin password, a local user, and a local password. Now the domain credentials are only required if you're AD joining the session hosts. The local user credentials are required for both AD joined and Entra ID joined. Now that we've created those credentials, we need to allow the Azure Resource Manager to access them. We do this from Access Configuration and then click on the Resource Access where it says Azure Resource Manager for template deployment. Let's go back into the AVD portal and create a host pool. We'll select the resource group and give the host pool a name. Then we'll select the metadata location, in my case UK South. We'll use the new Create Session Host Configuration feature and click Next. We'll specify the number of session hosts, in this case 5, and we'll give the virtual machines a prefix name. Now we select a virtual machine location, in my case again UK South. Let's select the availability zones. I'm going to select all of them. Let's select an image. I'm going to use a marketplace image. I'm going to use the Windows 11 multi-session. I'm going to select my VNet and subnet. I'm going to join my session host to Active Directory. And you can see here that it's asking for a key vault for credentials. And this is why we set them up earlier. And it also asks for the local virtual machine administrator account and the key vault credentials for this as well. I'm just going to register the desktop apps group to my existing workspace. I'm going to skip the diagnostic settings and tags as this is only a demo. Clicking on Create will start the deployment. The first part of the deployment outputs the key vault secret URIs. The host pool and application group is then created and connected into the workspace. There is a link template that creates the session hosts. It takes a few minutes to create a virtual machine, but they're created in parallel, so it takes the same amount of time to do one as it does to take, say, 100. Once the machines are created, a desired state configuration extension is also installed. This is what is used to download the Azure Virtual Desktop agents and register them to the host pool. It's also now used to join them to the domain, which previously there was a separate extension to do this. I've sped the process up, but it normally takes under 10 minutes to complete. The deployment is now complete, so I can go back into the host pool. When you first go into the host pool, don't be worried when the session hosts show unavailable and upgrading. Normally this is the case when the AVD agents get updated for the first time, and they'll go to available shortly. You may also notice that the session host management plane also looks a little bit different from previously. There is now a drop-down button where you can view the session host configuration. This is what we set in the host pool properties when we created the host pool. And also, more importantly, we can now edit the host pool configuration. What this allows us to do is to automate the replacement of session hosts in the host pool. The first option allows us to save the original machines after the update. This means we can put them back if the update doesn't work as expected. If this option is unticked, that means the original machines will be deleted after the successful update. We can then select the number of machines that will be updated at any one time. I'm going to pick 2. This will allow for 3 session hosts to be available during the update. I'm now going to change the image used from the 22H2 version of Windows 11 to the 23H2 version. You can also use compute gallery images or standalone images. You can change the size and the family of the virtual machine. I'm going to double the processor size. You can also change the type of hard disk used. We then need to select our key vault secrets for our username and password for the domain, as well as our local administrator credentials. Clicking Next allows you to schedule when this update will happen. You can select a date and time that is convenient for your users, or click the Schedule Update Now. You can set the length of time and the message sent to users before they are signed out. Now we are finished setting the configuration, we can start the update process. The system will now validate the configuration before proceeding to update. The update has now started, and the current version is now out of date, as you can see from the orange triangle warning sign. Behind the scenes, we can see the system starting to build a new virtual machine. It will always start with one virtual machine. This is called the canary. This is to ensure the process completes as expected before updating en masse. The machine is put into drain mode and then deallocated, then removed from the host pool. The new session host, as part of the build process, runs the desired state configuration and joins itself both to the domain and to the host pool. Now I'm just going to whiz through the process of doing the other hosts. It will update 2 at a time as set in my batch setting. If you want to pause or cancel the update, you can do that from the Manage Session Host Update pull down. The update is now complete, and because I enabled saving the original virtual machines, I can now clean these up from the Azure portal. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.